Hello and welcome people back to Let's Play Forbidden Siren 2.
You okay? What about them? What the hell's going on? What was that?
You witch! What are you doing still alive? You have some sort of trick up your sleeve, didn't you?
Stop that! This way!
Somebody help! Over here!
This is probably one of the most important tutorials of this game, introducing the most unique mechanics that the Forbidden Siren franchise has, and that is sidejacking.
Is it like carjacking?
Kind of, but you do it for the eyes.
What's going on here?
She's still coming. We'd better hurry. Close your eyes. Yes.
So yes, you press the L2 button, and then you turn your control stick like a radio dial in order to find the right frequency. Yes. After pressing L2, you can press L1 in order to lock onto the nearest enemies. This is actually this is actually one of those things that was added to this game, because in the previous Forbidden Siren you always had to do it manually. You can also add different sights to your quick select menu. Once you find the right frequency, it doesn't even need to be on the perfect signal. You can press either one of the face buttons, and then when sidejacking you can press that button again, and it will immediately bring you to
You might get the combination.
it will immediately bring you to that enemy with perfect signal. And here is one of the applications of the sidejack. We see what the enemy is doing with this lock, and now we know the combination. By the way, that combination is actually randomized. It's different each time you play through this level. And he's far enough, so now we can do this. Thankfully, the moment you started doing one of these puzzles, time stops for everything else, so don't worry about it.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, I extensively tested that on my first run, actually. And now we've got a slightly better weapon, a fire poker. I told her to fire, Not actually, she was doing the smart thing of actually closing the doors.
That feel when the AI is smarter than you.
Mm-hmm. Especially smarter than me after you see what I'm doing right now. I tried to bait him into entering into these doors, but he was smart enough to not follow me behind. and because the camera here is so close, yeah. Thankfully, while you are terrible at combat, your enemies are also zombies, so they're not terribly smart anyway. By the way, that cry they do, it can actually draw attention of other patrolling Shibito. However, you don't have to worry about it in this location. It does become more relevant later. But yeah, I mostly told her to stay there so she wouldn't get in the way. And here is a bit of a cheap little thing. Oh, by the way, the blue arrow is me. Green one, well, the green crosshairs is is my helper, AI partner, whatever. Yeah, this is a situation. This is a situation where you sadly, absolutely, like, you cannot avoid getting caught, because this particular enemy always stands there. However, we will also here discover one of Shibito's greatest weaknesses: stairs. Shibito are they have a serious case of something that I like to call the Sei walk, Sony Computer Entertainment walk. There was a thing about the PlayStation 2's Sony produced games and overly animated stairs walking animations. It happens to you, and it happens to your enemies. And Shibito are really careful when they walk the stairs. They just wouldn't want to get hurt, you know?
I mean, you gotta be careful. People falling down the stairs is a serious issue.
Yeah, exactly. Even though they're practically unkillable. As well, it was very well demonstrated in the first Forbidden Siren. Yeah, you remember those shadowy thingies that we saw in one of the previous levels? If that thing happens to enter a Shibito that has been downed, it will immediately revive it. The Shibito will revive regardless after a certain amount of time has passed, but a revival through the shadowy thing is instantaneous, and so you kind of want to avoid it. Shibito are also very smart in that they will often prioritize your AI helper, who they will sometimes prioritize your AI helper because they, for example, do not have a weapon. So, like you saw there, she just ran straight past me and just made a beeline for that girl. But yeah, we now got what we came here for. I was just making sure that there wasn't anything over there. There wasn't.
So when are we gonna see a spook?
I mean, aren't those black things kind of like spooks?
Sure. They're pretty creepy.
Yeah, and you have to turn like 90 degrees to defeat them.
Yes. Blower machine. The hell is a blower machine? Because my mind is dirty, and that does not make me think what this game probably
it's
thinks
ventilation. It's a ventilation.
So then why didn't they just call it the ventilation room?
Oh, here's something I forgot to mention actually about the previous levels. On the previous levels as well, I mean. when it comes to this game's hints, they stick religiously close to.
It's not wide enough to pass through.
They stick religiously close to the terminology of the map. So, like for example, if the hint in the on like your pause menu says "go there" and says a name of a location, it is absolutely there. It's no other place. It just is a place on the map. Just look on different levels, on different floors, and you'll likely find it. Thankfully, the FAQ does the same thing. But yeah, here you can see the exit from this location. We don't need any extra keys or anything. And I just run into a wall. It's right there.
You know, speaking of dirty terminology this game has, I noticed this camera angle is oddly centered on our protagonist's butt. Mission accomplished!
There's nobody here. We're the only survivors, aren't we? Hey!
Shoot. That's right. Open the 7 gates with the 7 keys. Akiko, but it can't be. It's too long ago.
Oh, is that like psychic power? Actually, I once saw a ghost, you know? We used to have this dog, but he died, and then... I can tell you're not really interested. Oh. Hey, I think this is pure gold.
So yeah.
That look she gave him about the pure gold, you could say it was priceless.
And yeah, she's actually one of my favorite characters. But yeah, now we get a free reign when it comes to exploring the Link Navigator. And in the next episode we're gonna go with Shigeru Fujita's second mission. But not now. Right now we're gonna look at the archives, and we're gonna keep quiet because a lot of these have...
The time is 3:17 p.m. I am checking to see if passage is available for Yamijima Island. Look, are you sure you can't?
What? Are you still here? Clear off, will you?
Please.
Show me about this much cash and I just might think about it. Now get out of here. I'm busy. Go away.
Hey!
Are you okay?
Yeah, thanks.
Is this the boat for Yamijima Island?
Yes, but no luck so far. This isn't going to be as easy as I thought. Wait a sec. Who's that Shumikan? The time is 4:02 p.m. I am currently in the cabin of the Shosei Maru and...
Please, wait!
Hey! What do you think you're doing? Akiko, stop them!
This boat is going to Yamijima Island, right? Please, please!
Oh, come on, please! Get out of here, or I'll call the police! Come on, let me get on the boat. I'm begging you. Let him aboard. I'm in a hurry. Huh? Oh, all right. Akiko, you heard the gentleman. Let's take her out.
Oh, brilliant! Great!
Yes!
Oh, yay!
they have audio files and video files and such things. So we're just gonna, by rule, keep quiet through most of those. Well,
I just
all
didn't
of
know
those,
that
actually.
the Wii remote could record voices.
No, it's just a regular dictaphone, recording device. I used to have one of these to record my classes. But here is one important thing that I will mention before we completely disappear. If you see any website mentioned in one of these archives, go check it out. They all still exist.
Oh wow.
Yes, somebody actually archived all of them, and they still work. Sony made a whole bunch of websites which are about really miscellaneous crap, like for example, a brand of non-existing cigarettes, or there is a whole forum about this one's pretty great. This one's pretty great, and it actually features one of the characters from the first Forbidden Siren, and a really lengthy explanation about this turtle jelly noodles.
Why?
Because Forbidden Siren. But yeah, there is a fake forum about on the site called shibito.com, that you have to absolutely type in www.shibito.com. You won't find it just by typing in shibito.com. It doesn't work that way. It's old internet rules. Deal with it.
Why is there so much text for this fucking code?
Yeah, the missing TV reporter from the first Forbidden Siren.
A relaxing moment. Spoil yourself. Collagen Infinity, a turtle jelly noodle from Green Turtle Foods.
Now, wasn't that just special?
Yes.
You know, if you don't mind, we may actually just comment over most of these. I'll warn you if there is an audio file or a video file. It usually says on the thing, and I usually go through.
Yeah, I noticed, because there's it says press this button for the video or whatever.
Yeah, or an audio. It's not like it's like, oh, this just happens. But yeah, you also get here, www.shibito.com. That website does actually exist, and it's very much done in the spirit of a forum from 2005, all complete with typos and maps drawn in paint. They've
Just
done
like
their
a
research.
Okage's.
Yeah. Well, those weren't official ones, but I don't know why they didn't use official ones, because there are maps to download from the official site of Okage. And yeah, we could, for a lot of these, we just get additional pictures with some more extra info. By the way, this game does keep track of everything that you have looked at so far. I think it does count towards completion. It will not give you the final ending unless you have actually viewed all of the archive items.
This fog, the clouds, this is bad. I can't trace anybody on the other end. Well, of course, no land in sight. Verifying current position. Where are we? Got no idea. We have a situation, sir. How would you like to handle it? This is an emergency. We'll just have to land wherever we can. I've got no communication. Nothing at all. Land! There's land up ahead. I'm taking us down. Prepare for emergency landing. Wait! You can't! No!
And now we know what actually happened. By the way,
Yeah.
all of these, this game is so nicely organized for these kinds of things, because once you have completed it, it also gives you a notification of where you have actually found it and with whom and at what time. I imagine this made creating the FAQ for this game a hell of a lot easier in hindsight. Once they were, compiling it all together. There is also an important little tidbit. You can view archive during gameplay. However, you will not be able to get any additional info. Like, you can only view the the first part of the text that you get, but none of the extra pictures or video files or anything. I can imagine that PS2's RAM would kill itself if it did that.
Probably.
Especially since all of the stages are saved in their entirety, into the RAM. You don't have loading in the stages themselves anymore.